So good evening everybody. Two videos in 2 days from me. I must be on a roll. So I wasn't going to do a video on Conor Ben for a while now. I said I'd rest it, and I meant that. But we keep hearing these, we keep seeing of these little childish little tweets that he puts out. I'm not on Twitter. I get these kind of second-hand or third-hand. And I know he sent some very ungracious ones, or a particularly ungracious one at the weekend about Chris Eubank Jr. and that shocking knockout loss. It's a shame really, because videos of him and Nigel laughing at a man's defeat, pretty ungracious, although it's the kind of behaviour I would expect from Conor. And sadly, that behaviour from Nigel Benn was equally troubling. Certainly Ben was a hero of mine growing up. He was a fighter I've seen in the flesh several times. And when you think about how gracious Chris Eubank Sr. was, and how supportive he was as Conor Ben on their recent tour, it's a shame that Nigel couldn't extend that same decency and the same class when Chris's own son was beaten at the weekend. But as I've always said, you can't buy class, you just can't. All right, quick one, just to get rid of this rubbish, and it is absolute rubbish that Conor Ben keeps saying in some kind of defence. How come the WBC haven't banned me? How come the WBC haven't banned me? He must think that people are absolutely stupid, that we are all thick. The WBC haven't banned you because the WBC can't ban you from boxing. How can they? They're not a licensing control body. They can't ban you. What they have done, Conor, is they've dropped you from the rankings, which means you can't fight for a WBC world title. So in their own way, the WBC have banned you. Stop playing with words. It's just semantics. Stop trying to think that you are more intelligent than other people, because ultimately we know you're not. Your behaviour shows that you're not. Everything, the silence shows that you're not. And whoever's advising you, if anybody, to put these ridiculous tweets out and these statements out needs to stop. You need to stop. Put your phone away, Conor. Don't top up your gift gaff. Right. So that's that out of the way. So I've seen an interesting article by the Daily Mail today. It just popped up in my metadata. And what it said was, whilst Team Ben, or Conor Ben's representatives, their legal representatives, have sent a 270-page dossier to the WBC, which is, you could say, is a cynical move, they haven't been as forthcoming sending those to the people that matter, certainly from a British licensing point of view. First of all, the British Boxing Board of Control, Robert Smith, confirmed to the Daily Mail that he hadn't received the same dossier. And UKAD, or the UK Anti-Doping Agency, they've declined to comment, but there's speculation that they haven't sent the same document to them. So what you got to do, you got to be cynical. You got to use your judgment here and say, why send to WBC, who can't ban me, and who probably have got limited funds when it comes to this type of thing? Why send to WBC but not send the same document to everybody else? You're protesting your innocence. You are innocent. People are stopping you from earning a living. You keep reminding us that you can box tomorrow. Eddie keeps telling us that you can box tomorrow. Then why don't you? I could be cynical and say, if you can get over and get past the WBC issue, you'll get a WBC ranking. You could fight abroad for a WBC belt of sorts. That could be cynical. What about boxing in England? What about boxing in the UK? Well, you need clearance, don't you? From the British Boxing Board of Control. Who need clearance? From the scientists, from the experts, from the anti-doping agencies, to support their proposal, which might be to ban you or also to support your defence that you've had contaminated products. Another quick one, another little fact. Conor Ben, it is believed, and I'm choosing my words carefully, that one line of his defence is that the eggs he was using were contaminated. Clomiphene, the fertility drug that was in Ben's system not once but twice, it is said can be contaminated by chicken eggs. So first of all, a little fact for you. Out of all the eggs that come into or that are in for sale in the UK, 89% to 90% are farmed or housed or reared or whatever word you want to choose in the UK. Clomiphene is banned in the UK. So that's 10 or 11% of eggs would be imported. So the chances of Conor Ben having a contaminated egg are 1 in 10, depending on where Team Ben gets their produce from. So we know that Conor Ben has said several times, every single thing that goes into his mouth is monitored. Everything. He's said that before, he's stated that online. So for such an expert on nutrition and food and such a high profile athlete, you have to ask the question, who buys your eggs, Conor? Do you get UK sourced eggs from British farms, which are effectively for athletes purer, or are you just buying bobber job eggs from the local corner shop, got no idea where they are from? Let's get the cheap eggs in, eh? What, battery hens, mass produced? I don't know. You see where I'm going with this? It's a joke. Months ago on my channel, I said there's going to be a soft ban or no ban at all. It's all smoke screens and mirrors. Everything is smoke screens and mirrors. There will be people listening to Conor Ben saying, how come the WBC haven't banned me? And there'll be morons out there. Yes, you are morons if you believe that, things such as that, saying, yeah, how come the WBC haven't banned Conor? There must be something in that document. Well, let's see the document. Never mind NDAs. Never mind non-disclosures. Let's all see the document, Conor. Let all the people out there, I'm not a scientist, none of us are scientists, or should I say most of us aren't scientists. There's some pretty clever people out there who could have a look at that document. But of course, you've only disclosed the document right now to the WBC, haven't you? Because you're hoping the WBC, perhaps not the purest of organisations, are going to give you a pass and you're going to jump abroad, aren't you, on the DAZN show, and you're going to fight for a belt of sorts. We know your game, mate. We all know what you're doing. You can kid some of the people some of the time, but you can't kid all the people all the time. So, contaminated eggs. We don't believe that one either. Maybe some receipts will appear and we'll be able to source those eggs right back to some farm in Europe where clomiphene for the aid of fertility for the chickens, the hens, is legal. You see how stretched this is? You see how absolutely ridiculous this is? What you need to do is you need to clear your name. And there's a saying, Conor, right? And I'm not out and out saying you are guilty. There's a saying, right? What is that saying? You want to clear your name, you got to do what it is. And the saying is, help me help you. So that's now what the British Boxing Board of Control surely should be saying. Help me help you. Conor, you want to prove your innocence, and you want to do that in the UK. You're a British fighter. Help me help you. Give the British Boxing Board of Control the 270-page document. Send it to UCAD. Publish it online unless there's an NDA. I'm sure there is. It's funny how all these NDAs are all about the things that you don't want us to know, but the things that you do want us to know, you'll put out there, you'll pump out there non-stop. Help me, help you. Help us, help you. Be transparent, but no. 4 months of silence. Just a few shitty tweets, a few moaning tweets about how the WBC are not running around over Christmas and prioritising your case. Took you 4 months to put a case together, or 3 months to put a case together. You expect them to sort it all out for you in the space of a few days over a busy Christmas period. You expect everybody to believe you. What do they say? A guilty man doesn't run from the scene. Well, that's what you've done. You've gone all but silent. You didn't renew your British Boxing Board of Control licence. On the surface, Conor, you ran from the scene, mate. You ran from the scene. And the problem you've got now, doesn't matter if you've got Max Clifford or whoever, you have a real challenge now because your silence has proved to be deafening. Honestly, the damage is done. Any video you put up of you now starting to train or anything else, just read the comments. People can be cruel. People on YouTube can be cruel. I think some of the things that people are saying about you are pretty crappy actually and uncalled for. But most of us, with rationale, we want some answers now. The silent game doesn't work. Maybe you're just hoping there'll be a retrospective ban, like a certain heavyweight champion had, but the silent game doesn't work. Face the music, Conor. Stand up, be a man. I've no doubt you've got a pair of balls in a boxing ring and you'll trade and you'll fight anybody. But be a man, be decent, do the right thing. Work with the British Boxing Board of Control. Work with the UK Anti-Doping Agency to clear your name. Give us some evidence, give us something to go on. Because right now, you're giving us nothing. You're tweeting nonsense about the WBC. Rubbish. Rubbish. Give Robert Smith and the Boxing Board of Control the same 270-page document that took you 3 months to prepare. Let their legal team, let their scientist team, let UCAD, let the UK Anti-Doping Agency, let all these experts have a look at these claims, what you are telling us. But no, you're not doing that. You're choosing not to do that. So listen, the court of public opinion is ready to condemn you, Conor. So help us, help you. Get some information out there, not just to the people you think is going to give you a lenient pass. Get the information out there to the right people. Do it now, because honestly, we can all see what's coming. You're going to get a pass by the WBC, maybe. You'll get reinstated in the rankings. The same rankings you've been dropped from twice now, by the way. Once for not signing up to the WBC's anti-doping programme. Interesting one. And the second time, obviously, because you had 2 failed tests. So they've dropped you twice. Maybe you're hoping for leniency. Maybe they'll give you the leniency. But what about the British Boxing Board of Control? What about the British public? Not me, I'm not a Conor Benn fan. What about the British public who bought tickets, booked hotels, booked flights, booked transport, were looking forward to a massive event, Ben and Eubank? They're your fans, the Eubank fans, all these people who are looking forward to that, whose hopes were dashed. Do you not owe them something? You don't owe me anything. I'm a little bit cynical where you're concerned. I wouldn't have gone to watch you anyway. I did go see your father, but I certainly wouldn't have gone to watch you box. Maybe if you become a proven fighter, you'll get more fans, you'll win people over. But right now, you're whinging, you're bitching, you're really classless comments at the weekend about Chris Eubank Jr. not being able to go 2 rounds with you. Conor, you ain't Liam Smith, mate. Just because Liam Smith did that doesn't mean so you can do that. You are definitely not Liam Smith. A proven fighter, former world champion, who's done more than you'll probably ever achieve. So stop ridiculing Chris Eubank, and by claiming you'd have blown him away in 2 rounds, inadvertently, you're also trying to ridicule Liam Smith, who's a very popular very liked fighter right now. Everyone's a Liam Smith fan right now. Very few people are a Conor Benn fan right now. So it looks like I'm rubbishing you. I'm not. I'm just saying, where's the evidence? Daily Mail, really interesting article that I just read. Okay, I'm not condemning you outright. I don't believe everything I read online. I don't believe everything I read in the paper. I don't believe everything I see. I don't believe everything I'm told. But your reaction to all of this, effectively silence, other than a few little moans, it's making you look very, very bad right now. Very, very bad. You're coming across as a self-entitled, bitter young man. And it's such a shame, because I think, you know, the fans, you were really growing on the fans. You were really exploding and looking so good. And we've all got questions right now. And even if you are cleared now, the problem is you've left it so long, you're going about it in such a poor way, not going through the correct process. It's not looking good. And I don't know what the fine was, by the way. If anybody can tell us what the fine was by the British Boxing Board of Control back in October, I believe it was a hefty fine that Ben paid. I keep hearing different things about that fine, but one thing that got out was that it was fined by the Boxing Board of Control for refusal to share the results of some of his tests with the British Boxing Board of Control, the scientific details. I don't know if that was true or not. I'm not saying it was. It's interesting if not. If anybody knows what that fine was in relation to, genuinely knows, I'd be interested to hear that. That's a missing piece of the jigsaw for me. Long video, sorry. I said I wouldn't do another one on Conor Benn, and then I saw that and I thought, well, hang on a minute, Jules. You've done 4 or 5 videos on Ben. You can't just finish it when you feel like it. So here we are. Weekend's coming up almost. So I hope you all are looking forward to the weekend, spending time with your loved ones. Please like, subscribe and share. Really appreciate the comments. Once again, just scanned that in the room, that article. Thought I'd do a video, never planned, always impromptu. If one or two of the things are a little bit outdated or slightly grey what I'm saying, or not 100% correct, as always, it's, you know, busy day at work. I get out what I can based on information that I have. But summary, it's not looking good. We're not convinced by some of the things that you're saying, Conor, and I think it's about time, if you're going to start putting information out there, how come the WBC haven't banned me? WBC, hurry up. This is my future you're messing with. When are you going to get back to me? I am innocent. Then put the same things out about the board control. You can't do that, can you? Because you've not sent it in, mate, have you? All right. Good evening, everybody.
Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.